You got that? We're a little bit over time, but we're going to finish this out. So you feel like you heard that and got it? All right. So now let's turn up the gas. Let's explain where the true power is. So you understand the sticks and you understand emotional choices to make. Now we're going to make some statements to you. One who's connected to the stream is more powerful than millions who are not. In other words, when you tune in to that source energy end of things, that's when you can really begin to see big things happen. That's when you can begin to witness the vibrations becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, so that in a greater sensitivity, you have a greater awareness of the thoughts turning to things. So here's this pile of sticks, and here's the end of it that feels so good. And yet so far, these sticks are about the life that I've been living. It's the way we set you up for the analogy, because it's kind of the way you built your pile of sticks. Life happened, you put a stick in the pile. Life happened, you put a stick in the pile. One who's connected to the stream is more powerful than a million who are not. You want to see the world through the eyes of source. Every empire or magnificent career or relationship, these magnificent things that they write big epic books about, all of them were 99.99999% completed before you put the first nail in the first board to build the first building. In other words, your power is in your thought, not your response to life. So here's this pile of sticks, and it represents the things that you want. It does. It's a good representation. But now you've decided to not be the reactor to life and not be the realist who's responding to the life that you live in. You've decided you're going to dream it into place. You've decided that you're going to take a thought, a non-resistant thought, about a subject that you don't have a lot of negative ends of the stick, or maybe even positive ends of the stick, and you're going to take that non-resistant thought and just daydream about it. And because it's a new thought, you haven't put a stick in that pile about that thought, so it doesn't have that end of the stick. It doesn't really have that end of the stick either, but more importantly, it doesn't have that end of the stick. Doesn't have that end of the stick either, but more importantly, it doesn't have that end of the stick. In other words, it's clear, it's open, it's fresh, and you're dreaming about it, and in your thought about it, since there's no contradiction, that thought about something that doesn't even really exist yet, just that dream about this artistic career, the dream about this powerful thing that you're building, this dream about the response of the world to it, or anything else that you choose. You sort of kind of with us? When you hook in to source energy on something like that, it lights up every other stick on the board in a way that we just cannot even begin to describe. So we're just going to make one quick statement, and then we'll take a segment of refreshment, and then we can pick up if you want to when we come back after the segment of refreshment. The thing that we are really wanting you to hear in this is that by deciding that you're going to approach life differently, and that the pile of sticks are just whatever they are, and you're appreciative of the life enhancement that they've given you, but you're now going to be different than most human creators. You're going to tap into the energy that creates worlds, and you're going to do some really big things. And to do some really big things, you got to get off the pile of sticks, because the pile of sticks is contradiction in itself all over the place, and because you've got habits and beliefs that are hard for you to break. The way life touched you still touches you all day, every day. If you take some subject where you have a strong belief, we've written so many books and had so many conversations where we can sort of move you up the emotional scale, but it's not where the big stuff comes from. The big stuff comes from being willing to dream a new dream that isn't immediately contradicted by the thoughts that cripple it or destroy it, and allow that momentum to take place. And then you could do it in 10 minutes. We're not even kidding you. When we come back, if you want to, we'll take some of that and go with you. As you do that, The exhilaration that you feel as a result of accomplishing it just means you've tuned into your inner being and the way your inner being feels about you. And for brief seconds in time, you will catch a glimpse of that good feeling end of every stick or every subject or every relationship or everything in your life that is important to you. And as a result of just dreaming, just for a little bit, on something that you're not contradicting, you will make headway on every subject in your life. Every relationship will improve. Your relationship with money, your relationship with your body, your relationship with that person, with your mother, with your kids, with your friends, with your exes, with your exes. You've got ex-workmates and ex-playmates and ex-classmates and ex-lovers. All those people that you have all those relationships with that are over here bubbling and broiling and hindering you on everything because you didn't mean it. You just heard a song and it made you think of that boyfriend who was mean to you, and you thought about it, and by the end of the song, that end of the pile was so active that your whole day sucked because you had no control of yourself. You see what we're getting at? You can get control of your vibration, and you can do it in a whole lot easier way than by picking up sticks. And that's what our friend was trying to teach us. That was the point that he was trying to make.
You mean a completely different dream that you didn't have before? So in order of not having any resistance about it.
By that we mean something that you can easily dream about and feel light and free and happy about. Something that doesn't, the minute you start thinking about it, activate that into the stick. So you'll catch glimpses of it. Esther found it this way, accidentally. She was doing a focus wheel on something she was trying to fix over on this end of the stick pile. And she's learned she can focus wheel and move herself up a little bit. And she's accomplished a lot with focus wheels. But she had been doing them and doing them and doing them and doing them and doing them. And now the focus wheel process turned on her like an evil friend. And so she asked the question, she said to herself, because she'd been hearing us talking about daydreaming, about just taking some idea that doesn't have any attachments to beliefs that are holding me down. And so she said to herself, if I could start this whole thing over, if I could just set everything aside that it is and just start it over from scratch. And then the if word was kind of unpleasant in her mind, and she said, no, since I have the power to begin again on anything, what do I choose? Since I have the power to depart from anything I've ever lived and go beyond anything that currently is, since I have the power to do that, what do I choose? And in that moment, she had a sort of out-of-body experience. It felt to her like she'd blasted through a portal where just for a few seconds, she saw it exactly as she wants it to be. And she said to her daughter afterward, for the first time in my life, this happened 2 weeks ago, or 3. For the first time in my life, I understood what Abraham meant by one who's connected to that stream is more powerful than millions who are not. So you are a group of creators. You're a group of powerful creators. It's time for you to stop messing around. It's time for you to stop messing around with these sticks over which you have almost no control because you're so locked into how you feel about so many things. And it's time for you to put a whole new stick in the pile, a stick that's easy for you to catch a 10-minute glimpse of something that you dream about, and let that ignite all the other ends of the stick and get some real movement going in your life. Don't you think? This is a really good time for a segment of the session.